Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken. To know that there are two different types of initiations. One, into the knowledge of your emotions and your thoughts. And the second one, into the expression and the formulation and controlling of those emotions and thoughts and the distribution of them. Matthew chapter 3, verse 11. John the Baptist says, I baptize you in water now, but there is someone coming whose shoes I am not able to walk in, who is greater than I, greater than what I do. And he shall baptize you with fire. Son, there are two baptisms, a water baptism and a fire baptism. Son, come hither. But you do not know, you do not recognize these two different types of baptisms because you want to focus on Father, Son, Holy Spirit baptized in their names when you don't even know their names. You don't even know what they represent. You don't even know what these beings, these personifications, these personalities are. These consciousnesses, these states of being. Have you ever thought about it that deep? Have you ever thought of the Bible as a psychological tool? Not historical and not literal. A psychological tool, a psychological mind map, a map of the human mind. You ever thought of the Bible, the Holy Bible, the Helios Biblios, Sun Book? Sun Book, it means Sun Book. Holy Bible means Sun Book. It is a science book. A book of the science of the human body and mind. The Old Testament is the old mind. The New Testament is the new mind and body of the human. The old mind and body of the human, as you can see in the Bible, is very psychologically destructive. It gets very jealous when it doesn't get what it wants. It gets very combative. When God, so-called God, told the people what to do, and they did it.
Hello.
Hey, babe. Then he was pleased. even if it didn't make sense, even if it didn't make logical sense. And the things that they didn't do that he said to do, he became so angry at them that he destroyed whole tribes and civilizations and tortured them like the devil people speak of would do. You have to think about these things. You have to think about these things. And even after he told certain prophets like Moses, or before, he told the people the laws of what not to do. He helped his prophets do the exact thing that he told his prophets to tell the rest of the Israelites to not do. He helped Abraham. He told Abraham to lie. He told Abraham to lie, and then one of the commandments is thou shalt not lie. He helped Moses perform magic, witchcraft, divinations. Peter was a diviner. Solomon was a master magician, a master wizard. Moses, who studied the Egyptian mysteries and wisdom, was a master diviner, seer, and magician. But they were baptized with the fire. The knowing, the wisdom. The knowing and the wisdom. The understanding of how to bring their thoughts into manifested reality. But in the New Testament, it's an all-loving, all-gracious, a God that is really settled down and doesn't say too much. Most of the time, there's a man saying something. You have to think about these things. This is psychology. This is science. There's not a lower level thinking state anymore. There was a knowing. Most of the time in the New Testament, there are people speaking of the energy. There are men speaking of the energy. When in the Old Testament, God told men to do things, and based on whether they did it or not, he was either a loving God or a very cruel and unjust God. But in the New Testament, God is a man. God is a man named Jesus Christ, or Yeshua HaMashiach. Teaching, some in parables, and others in secret, which he says himself in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. He says that he teaches people, he teaches the masses in parables, and he teaches his students, his disciples, the truths in secret. John baptized the people in water.
Yeah, I wish.
The art of taking control or noticing one's emotional energies, the subtle energies within self, your thoughts, your emotions. And when the Christ came,
Okay.
he taught the usage,
Okay.
the manifesting, the materializing
They look like they'll fit.
of thoughts,
Come here, Zealous.
the materializing of your visualizations and your imagination, the God within. He taught the God within. He says that so God is as the same way that God is in me, so shall he be in you through me. Which means I have went and gotten the knowledge and talked with the God within me to help unlock the God within you as I am speaking now. When you are baptized with water, you are cleansed of your guilt. You are cleansed of your depravity. You are cleansed of all of the things that plague your mind, all of the things that plague your existence and your reality. All of the so-called demons and satans, hasatans, your satans. You are cleansed of all of that so that you can focus on using your emotions and your thoughts for the right things, for creating the reality that you wish to exist. But then, once you are cleansed through the water baptism of all of that, and your mind has been opened, you can still fall back into uncleanliness. That is why you should focus and hold on to that open-mindedness. Hold on to that power of no more guilt. The power of trial and error. The power of betterment. The power of serenity. And knowing that by learning, by failing, I have not failed. I have only learned to become better than that which I have just experienced. The enlightenment that you get from this, the enlightenment that you get from learning something new and applying it to your life, and learning how great it is for you and how good it is for you and the people around you, the enlightenment, that is the fire. When you are baptized with the fire, when you are baptized with the fire, you realize that God has been with you the whole time. And now you can hold on to that God within you. Hold on to that pure spirit, that Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit comes forth within yourself. Then you have been baptized with the fire. Christ has a ritual. Christ had a ritual of baptizing himself with water. Christ had a ritual of cutting off. Yes, he came into the cities and he helped people and he did miracles, but he also separated himself from those people, separated himself from distractions. That way he could focus on his own mind and how he can manipulate reality with his mind. Manipulation of reality with your mind is magic. Manipulation with reality of your mind is divination. Manipulation of the reality with your mind is psychology. It's psychological, it's scientific. And now today we have quantum mechanics, which actually shows us with solid proof that the observer, the one who sees it happening, has an effect on what's happening. I mean, this is simple knowledge when you're out in nature, but when you've been disconnected from nature so long, and then in an unnatural environment finally proves this, then there must be something going on. The Christ is returning. So we need to start embracing our Christ.
They said the first one's completely redone on the inside, and appliances, everything. They said they think it's just going to be like $50 more than these.
So we should embrace our Christ self. Embrace the immortal self. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11 says that God sets infinity, eternity in the hearts of man. And you have to think about this stuff. When it says the hearts, it's talking about the mind. Because in those days, everyone thought that you think with your heart. Okay? That you think with your heart.
Did you make a sandwich?
So eternity